It must have come as a shock to a lot of people when Kun Suwit Kunkitti announced in Paris that Thailand was pulling out from the World Heritage Committee because
I was jolted awake from my sofa
You
on
were?
Saturday night.
Yeah, it was quite late, right?
Quite late, yeah. Just before midnight, Bangkok time.
And Kun Suwit has been tweeting. He was tweeting all the time from Paris, and I think that was a good point for him. He kept a lot of people updated on his decision. In fact, the threat of pulling out was tweeted by Suwit
Himself,
saying that, we might have no choice but to quit the World Heritage Commission. But now, having done that, he will have to explain a lot of things. A lot of questions have come up. For one thing, I'm not sure whether it's going to be politically advantageous to the Democrats or not. I suspect that Prime Minister Abhisit must have been consulted by Suwit.
Mr. Suwit called Kun Abhisit just before he announced the withdrawal from the convention.
Yes.
So it's a very short time that the Prime Minister was consulted before the action was taken. But the cabinet, the Abhisit cabinet, already gave Kun Suwit this as an option before he left for the meeting. So Kun Abhisit already knew that this is always a possibility, the Thai withdrawal.
But the final decision had to be approved by the Prime Minister himself, right?
He consulted the Prime Minister.
Yes.
And that's all we know.
But don't forget that Kun Abhisit had always said that to withdraw from the World Heritage Committee would not be a good thing for Thailand, if you remember that.
Exactly. Kun Abhisit never seemed to agree on this option.
But then he finally gave in.
Yes.
And I suspect that it was politically motivated to a certain extent. That maybe Abhisit thought that by delivering this shock therapy over the Cambodian issue, he might be able to win some votes from people who thought that he had been too weak towards Cambodia.
Well, but Kun Abhisit may have to be a very optimistic man to to think like that, because the only group that is so concerned about this issue is the PAD. And the PAD today is make clear that the vote no campaign is still on.
I see.
Despite what happened concerning this convention. So the PAD also thanked Minister Suwit, but also
not Abhisit.
Not Abhisit, but it also said that Kun Suwit was acting under pressure from the PAD.
So PAD can claim credit for that.
Yes, and
because to be fair to them, PAD has been consistent on this.
Yes,
saying that we must pull out from the World Heritage Committee.
Yes,
it was Abhisit who I think made an about turn on this issue at the last minute, just a few days before election. So he could not avoid being seen to try to politicize this decision.
Right. And since this is not a national issue, it is a mostly PAD concentrated issue. So I'm not sure whether this is a good political move for the Democrat Party.
But what is technically the process from now? Have Thailand actually delivered the resignation letter to?
No, we just expressed our intention to withdraw from the convention.
Yes.
So what will happen is that the Culture Ministry will have to submit a written form to the World Heritage Convention.
And it doesn't happen automatically?
No, we have to do that. We have to submit a written statement expressing our...
And what happens after that? Would the World Heritage Committee have to approve or disapprove or consider it again or not?
It will have, once we submit the letter, it will have to approve our intention. But this is a very long process, 12 months from now.
And meanwhile, during these 12 months, what happens?
Nothing happened. Technically, we're still with the convention until this letter of resignation is approved.
Yes.
So technically, we still the member. Like Kun Abhisit today, he said that it will take a long process to officially quit the convention. So it will be up to the next parliament and the next government to do it.
So what actually triggered this very unexpected decision. Kun Suwit said there was some wording in the
Yes.
draft from the Cambodia side that would, if we accepted it, be quite detrimental to our case in the World Court.
Yes, the Cambodian used the word to restore Khao Pravihan Temple. And the Thai side believed that to use the word restore or repair could endorse the Cambodian claim that the Thailand attacked the temple during the recent confrontation at the border. So we want to use the term preserve and protect
I see.
only.
So it's quite technical, isn't it?
Yes,
So,
very much.
I think there must have been some other reasons behind it. But one of my suspicions is that perhaps Kun Suwit was convinced that if we put the thing up for a vote between the Cambodian draft and the Thai draft, then Cambodia may win out. So better deliver the shock before we had to face the humiliation of having to be defeated.
That could be the real motive.
Anyway, this is going to be politically quite sensitive. A few days before election, who knows? On July 1st, when both Pheu Thai and Democrat parties are holding the biggest rallies, they might take up this issue, and it could lead to the big question: what's going to happen to the new government's policy on this issue after July 3rd? Stay tuned.